Welcome to MSG PM, presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook. Your app is ready, Emperor. My name is Kazim Famuide, and right now you are checking out a great game when the Knicks defeat the San Antonio Spurs behind 24 points by the sophomore sensation R.J. Barrett. So this is one of my favorite sort of episodes, right? Because we're going to jump a little into the future and talk about, some most improved player odds, some outlooks for the Maple Mamba himself. But before we do any of that, I got to tag in my tag team partner, the one and only Jeff Eisenband. Jeff, R.J. Barrett is going into season 3 as a New York Knick. And if you go online, if you go on social media, Twitter, he's the one guy you cannot say anything bad about for the New York Knicks, because they will come for you over R.J. Barrett. Talk to me about how his season looks as season 3 rolls around.
Well, first of all, right, we haven't forgiven the Spurs for 99. So anytime you get a Knicks beating the Spurs game, it's fun. Even if it was in 2020, we're talking about it, in 2021. But R.J. Barrett, you're right, 17.6 points per game last season, and he played all 72 games, went right into Tom Thibodeau's system. And you look at the improvement from one year to the next, right? In his rookie season, 14.3 points per game, 5.0 rebounds, 2.6 assists. All of those numbers go up to 17.6 points, 5.8 rebounds, 3.0 assists. Now, people might look at it and say, well, he went from 30.4 minutes per game to 34.9 minutes per game. That's 4.5 minutes more. That's why those numbers went up. But Kaz, then you look at the percentages, and what jumps off the page for me for R.J. Barrett are the shooting improvements that he made last year. He went from 40.2 in terms of field goal percentage in his rookie season to 44.1 last year. And the three-point shooting went from 32% to 40.1%, more than an 8-point increase for him in terms of field goal percentage. That's incredible. He's still only 21. So if you're thinking R.J. Barrett needs another offseason to get ready to go, and, it would have been fun with Team Canada at the Olympics, right? It'll be exciting to see R.J. Barrett take another leap in year 3.
You mentioned his shooting percentage is improving this year, and he's earned a new nickname, RJ Beretta, because that gun was going off all season long. But Julius Randle did win last year's NBA Most Improved Player award. But let's look at some odds for the season coming up, because RJ Barrett was right in the mix up until the middle of the season. So leading that pack is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, tying with Michael Porter Jr. Zion Williamson is here as well. Kevin Porter Jr., a guy I like a lot out of the Houston Rockets, as well as Zach LaVine and Colin Sexton, both sharing the same odds. I mean, those are two guys that are already pretty good players. So if they win Most Improved Player, they'll be out of here in the stratosphere. But talk to me about these players and what stands out the most to you, Jeff.
Yeah, obviously such a hard award to predict, right? I don't know who, maybe outside of New York, who had Julius Randle last year. We knew he was going to be improved. We didn't know he was going to be that improved. So you look, like you said, some of these guys are established. Colin Sexton is a guy that jumped out to me. I think the Cavs are going to be better this year. But then I see 24.3 points per game last year. Can someone go from that to really most improved? It's difficult. You talked about Kevin Porter Jr. there at plus 1,200. I think that's an incredible one to take a look at, because this is a guy who didn't play that much last year, just 26 games, 16.6 points per game, 6.3 assists per game adding on. Now you add him into that role. He definitely feels more comfortable in Houston. We already talked about Kaz. I had Steven Silas as my coach of the year candidate, because I think so many people sleeping on the Rockets. That's a team with nothing to lose. That's a scary team. And I think Kevin Porter Jr. could become a star on that squad.
Yeah, when you're talking about young stars and instant league pass teams, you got Josh Christopher, Jalen Green, and Kevin Porter Jr. I'm spending the money to get that league pass this upcoming season. But like you said, the NBA Most Improved Player odds are a hard thing to really calculate and project going into the season. So let's look at a little bit of, I guess, what you call underdogs real quick. Full screen me real quick with Jaren Jackson Jr., who I like a lot out of Memphis, the aforementioned R.J. Barrett, alongside Ben Simmons, which might be a sneaky good bet if you can get it right now. Lonzo Ball, Tyrese Halliburton, and the electrifying John Morant also with plus 3,000 odds to win this award. I like Ben Simmons taking this, honestly, Jeff. What about you?
I mean, it's hard, right, to take a perennial all-star and say he's going to win most improved. I mean, what does Ben Simmons have to do to get that? Really be all NBA first team, maybe even MVP, to be most improved? I look at a guy like Jaren Jackson, who's obviously on the top of this long shot list, and he really didn't play that much last year, just 11 games because of the injury. He's almost too young to, win comeback player or something along those lines. It's a most improved for me. I look at that 14.4 points per game, 5.6 rebounds in those 11 games. He's going to be healthier this year. The Memphis Grizzlies have retooled. I know Ja Morant is down on this list. He's probably not going to win most improved, but Jaren Jackson could be the guy to establish himself as a fringe all-star on that team. We know he can be good. If he's healthy, he can be great.
Jeff, always good talking numbers with you over here with Caesars Sportsbook for MSG PM. We're going to throw you back to the game. My name is Kazim Famiuide, and this has been MSG PM presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook. Your app is ready, Emperor. Enjoy the rest of the game.